Hey guys, Gareth James here. Today I'm going to go through all the brand new features of DTO Poker Trainer. Let's get into it. So starting with the trainer then, if you want to choose your spot, you're going to click choose your spot, and then you've got lots of different options for filtering to find the spot that you want to train. So let's say we want to go single raise pot and we want to go button versus big blind at 30 big blinds deep. That's going to filter for that exact spot. And then from there we can click on there and we get some more options. So if you just want to get straight into it and start playing, you can click the play button right here. There are some other buttons though, and we're going to talk about those later on, but really quickly, we've got hand histories, leaderboard, performance tracking, and notes. You can choose to play in position, out of position, or just get the software to randomize the position that you're in. And then we've got the Explorer and the Report button down here as well. So if you'd like to study what happens on lots of different board textures in this particular spot, then just click Open Report. That's going to bring up the Aggregate Report, and what you can do right at the top is toggle between out of position and then in position facing a check. And then from here you can sort the different columns from betting aggression, betting frequency, equities, EVs, and the different boards. You can also filter for different flops, suits, and texture. So if you go into the flop and you would just want to look at ace high boards, you can just select the ace here. If you want to look at a specific board like ace jack 9, then you can do it like that and it'll bring up all of the ace jack 9 boards. Let's say you want to take a look at the boards where you do the most checking. You can click on check up here and it will sort by the highest frequency checks. So it's going to be these low connected boards and low boards here. Back to this window then, you can see both players' ranges. We've got the big blinds range on the left-hand side and the buttons range on the right. If you click on the range, you can see how frequently all of these hands get open. So for example, you can see there's some folding with Queen 3 suited. If we click anywhere on the range, it's going to shift to this view and you can see Queen 3 suited opens 20% of the time. So let's click this play button and play through a hand. So we're going to go for a check here. And our opponent's going to go for a check back. We pick up a gut shot, we're going to go for a check again, and we face a pot size bet, and we're just going to fold. So at the end of the hand, you're going to get some feedback. You can see here, I've played this hand excellently, and I've got maximum score 35 out of 35. So a few things you can do from here. You can use the DTO virtual coach to explain your last move, or you can click evaluation and get some feedback like this. So let's say you want to learn the kind of hands you're supposed to continue versus the pot size bet on the turn. What you can do is click the call button here and have a quick look at the strategy. So when you're playing a hand, you might want to see how you compare to other players playing this particular spot. There are two ways to do that. One is to check out the leaderboard, which is this trophy icon. Click on that, you're going to see how you compare to everyone else who's played this spot. You can see I haven't played enough hands in this particular spot. You need to have played at least 100 hands to appear on the leaderboard. Another way to track how you're performing is by clicking this button here, and you're going to be presented with the results breakdown in terms of how frequently you performed excellently, good, you had some inaccuracies, some mistakes and some blunders. And then you've got in position and out of position compared to the average and the best in this spot. And then you've also got in position and out of position broken down by street. You can also toggle between GTO percentage and EV loss to see where you're really losing all that EV. At the top, you can also choose to take some notes. You can go back to the aggregate reports that we looked at earlier on, and you can also go straight to the Explorer by clicking this button. You can also access the leaderboard from this window by clicking the trophy icon here. You can see how you are performing by clicking the performance tracker here and taking notes by clicking this button here. So I've played another hand here and it went check check on the flop, and then I decided to check fold on the turn, and that is incorrect. And I want to learn, well, why is that incorrect? What I can do now is go straight to the Explorer and see why I should be calling and investigate a little bit more. So that's going to bring up the exact same spot in the Explorer, and then what we can do is click on button and explore their strategy. So you can see that they're mainly going for small bet and check on this turn card, and we can see what we're supposed to do as well. We do have a lot of hands that we want to fold, as you can see the hands in blue, and there are even some hands that we want to raise here. So with the Explorer, you can now review your marked hands and explore what you should do on different flops, different turns, and different rivers. So let's go back to the flop and choose a different flop. So you can see we've got all 1755 different flops in here. Let's say we want to do a 986 board. We can just type in 986 and we get all the 986 boards. Let's say we want to do King 7 Deuce. You can do King 7 Deuce and see all the King 7 Deuce boards. If you want to, you can filter by monotone boards, rainbow boards, and suited or flush draw boards. Then you can also filter by paired boards, connected boards, and unconnected or disconnected boards, and then also by high cards, so any card, ace high, king high, queen high, or other. But I find the easiest way to do this is just type in the exact board that you want to study and then go from there. So let's choose this 1083 rainbow board. So let's say you want to know what to do with pocket jacks on this particular board. You can go straight into here and see pocket jacks is mainly a big bet. Okay, so that's what you did in game, for example, and the big blind called. And then you can choose a turn card. So let's choose a blank turn card. Let's go for the 2 of spades. And the big blind checked again, and you want to know what to do on the turn. So once again, you can line check if you want to. You can see jacks is going to be a bet once again. But you can also see all the other hands that you're supposed to bet here and which hands you should check. So let's say that we went for the bet and the big blind called once more. And then finally is an ace on the river, and you want to know if you can still value jam pocket jacks on this river. So we'll say the big blind checks again, and we can take a look at our strategy. You can see pocket jacks still wants to go for a jam. So let's say we do jam, and then we can look at the big blind strategy. And the reason why we can jam is because the big blind is still going to call with all of their 10x hands and some 8x hands as well. If you want to choose a different spot, you can just click here on the left-hand side, and you can take a look at pre-flop and post-flop sims, and you can drill all of these as well. Now, a really important sort of unexplored area is multi-way, and DTO has that. So you can click on 3 players and you can look at various multi-way scenarios and drill those as well. So let's say we want to do 30 big blinds, button versus small blind versus big blind, go straight into it. And then what we can do, we've got 259 flops to choose from. Again, you can filter by suits, texture, and high card, or you can just scroll through and choose a board that you want to study. So let's just choose this ace 5 deuce board, and then you can explore all 3 players' strategies from here. So small blind and big blind, going to start with a check, and then let's take a look at the button strategy. So as soon as you study the ranges, you can then click drill and start having a go at playing this multi-way spot. Finally, I want to talk about pre-flop. So you can see we can do single raise pots, heads up, and 3-way, but you can also do pre-flop by clicking this button here. And then there are so many different spots and situations and scenarios. I really like the ICM spot, so let's click on ICM, click on a random one here, and you can see the stack sizes broken down and the payouts as you hover over. So lots of different options from the Explorer. This is how you're now going to be able to study and drill pre-flop spots and post-flop spots for both heads up and multi-way. So that's going to do it for this brief tutorial on all the new features in DTO Poker Trainer. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.